know, Flower. Windows Vista is considered Bill Gates' biggest failure. Do you mean before the COVID vaccine? Well, Flower, unlike the COVID vaccine, Windows Vista used to work. I know. People thought it was too intricate and slow. A bit like the security procedures in a German airport when you have to catch a connection flight. Anyway, Vista was really functional, in my opinion. I mean, when you have to make at least 3 different steps every time you need to save a file in a folder, or every time you have to get back to that file, well, sure thing, you will never forget in which fucking folder you have stored the fucking file. Since they stopped releasing Vista, it's just random. My files move wherever they like. My laptop desktop is even more messy than my physical desktop. Do you mean there are even more empty bottles of beers and overloaded ashtrays? Shut up, Laura. It's all out of my control. I waste hours of my life every time I have to work on a new comedy. Perhaps Bill Gates is messing up with my Windows because of my comedies against the COVID vaccine. Come on, Laura. He can't have that control on our lives. He's not God. We live in a democratic world. True, Flower. Anyway, next time, you'd better buy a MacBook. Well, let's get back to one of my latest favorite subjects. Global warming! You have always loved fairy tales, Laura. A few weeks ago, I went for a walk in the fields. Google weather was saying 12 degrees feels like 12. So, not even the usual 12 degrees feels like -4. I mean, 12 feels like 12 sounds quite reassuring, doesn't it? 2 minutes after I left home, I started to freeze. How come? I mean, I was wearing a vest, thick tights, a woolen dress, a thick jumper, a long coat, a scarf, and a hat. It sounds nearly good for a trip to the North Pole. Exactly, Flower. So, how could it be 12 degrees? I have many memories of myself enjoying the English summer nights just a few years ago, frolicking outdoors at 3 a.m. with a minimum temperature of 10 degrees. And I was happily surviving in my light tights, sexy dress, a pair of very light jumpers, and a short coat. Well, Laura, temperature's data to justify all of the bullshit about global warming. I mean fairy tales about global warming. It sounds like what happened with fashion just a few years ago when I was still in my motherland, Italy. Suddenly, they decided to put the ladies' clothes sizes down. How confusing! I mean, I used to wear an Italian size 40 to 42, and all of a sudden, I was fitting a 38. How come? I didn't lose any weight. I used to fit an Italian 38 when I was a skinny 14 years old girl. But I managed to grow a little bit of curves since then. Why should I be demoted to a size 38 again? Do you mean that's a hate crime, Laura? Don't be silly, Flower. I'm sure nobody hates my little curves. Well, excepting some of your ex's current girlfriends. Do you remember that bitch who shut up, Flower? Anyway, this phenomenon of clothes sizes getting smaller is called conspiracy theory. It's called vanity sizing. It happens in all the Western countries. Basically, the fashion brands periodically put the sizes down as people, especially women, seem to be more keen to buy if they could fit a smaller size. This is such a ridiculous commercial trick. I'm very surprised it's working. I'm not. Anyway, what they are doing with the weather reports is exactly the same, just the other way around. They are resizing the temperatures up just to make us feel guilty for all this global warming, when it's actually fucking freezing. So, we'll be more keen to buy expensive electric cars. Well, literally, I'm not gonna buy that shit.